Hello, hello, scholars. How are you all doing today? This is Miss Williams here with you guys, talking to you about the Bill of Rights. All right, so we're going to be learning about the Bill of Rights today. We have talked about the Constitution a little bit, but we're going to dive into what it means. All right, so we have a copy of this on a bulletin board in our class, and I get questions all the time about what does this mean? Who are these people? What are they talking about? So today we're going to learn about it. Okay, so this is a copy of what it looks like. So the Bill of Rights is the name for the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. Okay, so these are the very first 10 in the Constitution. So the Constitution is the highest law in the United States. The Constitution has 7 articles and 27 amendments. Amendment is a word that means a small change to a document. So rather than writing the whole document all over from scratch, you just make amendments that add to an already pre-existing document. So the very first um, amendment is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, press, and assembly. So you have the right to say what you feel like you want to say. Now, we have to know that there's a time and a place for that, but the First Amendment states that you have the right to say whatever's on your mind. You have a right to believe in whatever religion you want, the right, the freedom of press, and to assemble, to get your groups together, and all of that. You have the right in the First Amendment. Okay. The Second Amendment is one that you've probably heard about on the news or something like that. Um, and that is the right to bear arms or a weapon. You have a right to protect yourself with a weapon. Most states require that you have it proper documentation, and you go through all of the steps in order to have your weapon registered and things like that. But the Second Amendment um, gives you that right. And you have different rights. You have your rights are freedoms that people deserve. You deserve the right to be able to protect yourself. The Third Amendment is one that we don't really see in our day and time. We know that the Constitution was written centuries ago, but at this time they needed to make this clear that soldiers and troops during the war cannot occupy your home without your consent. Okay, here are some little animations here to kind of make that a little bit more clear. As you can see, this is a soldier, and they're wanting to occupy the home, and they're like, absolutely not. Now, I'm sure some people may have invited them in and even invited them for dinner or whatever, but you have the right to say, no, 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 no. On to the next house. Okay. Um, the Fourth Amendment is the government can't search your car or your home without a warrant signed by the judge. So if you get pulled over and you the police officer must have a warrant in order to search your car, okay, or your house. So if they knock on the door, they can't just go through your things. They have to have a warrant signed by the judge. The Fifth Amendment, I'm sure you have heard this one so many times. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. That's when you don't want to have to answer a certain question. Um, so, the Fifth Amendment, you have the right to stay silent if you don't want to speak or testify in a court of law. You have that right. And I thought this was a little funny little one. Does the Fifth Amendment apply to report cards? When your parents are asking you, what's the deal with your report cards? Oh, hmm. Can I plead the fifth? I don't have an answer. The Sixth Amendment. It guarantees citizens a speedy and fair trial. You have the right to have a court-appointed lawyer if you can't afford one, okay? And you have the right to confront the witnesses who is accusing you, the defendant of a crime. So if you're the defendant and you're being accused of a crime, you have the right in the Sixth Amendment to confront that witness, okay? The right to attorney, fair jury, and the speedy trial, okay? The Seventh Amendment guarantees that people have the right to be tried by a jury of their peers. Okay? So as you can see, these are the jury, and they will hear the defense and the prosecution, and then they will come up with a verdict. Okay? But the Seventh Amendment gives you that guarantee. The Eighth Amendment ensures that the court's decisions are fair and just. They protect against cruel and unusual punishment. Some countries don't have this law, okay? And they get away with excessive bail and excessive fines and cruel and unusual punishments, okay? If you do a crime, they can't charge you 17 gazillion dollars, okay? That's against the Eighth Amendment. That is excessive bail, okay? And basically, what bail is, it is a a payment that people can make so that you can go home while you await your trial. Okay, so rather than just staying in jail until your trial, then the bail allows you to pay a fee to get out. So while you're waiting, you can be at home. The Ninth Amendment of the Constitution does not list all of our rights. We have rights that aren't listed in the Constitution. And I put a funny little bitmoji here there. We have the right to sew. We have the right to suntan, or we have the right to skateboard with the cowboy hat on. Like we have so many rights within the law. Now, let me make that clear. Within the law, but they aren't necessarily listed one by one in the Constitution. I thought that was funny. And the 10th Amendment gives the power to the people, for the people, by the people. So um, it gives the power of the U.S. government, um, gives the power of the U.S. government to the states or to the people. Okay. And so the people have a voice, and we speak our minds and make our decisions by what? Voting. Okay. So I know you guys were having a little trouble understanding this, so I thought I'd put few little pictures together, and hopefully that'll help you out. Make sure at the end of this video that you complete the worksheets that are at the bottom. I hope you enjoyed this video. We will talk more in depth in class, and I will see you all then. All right. Bye. Have a good one.